Hi, I'm John. We are going door to door to share something wonderful with you.
Yes, what is it?
We're here to invite you to come kiss Hank's ass with us.
Pardon me? What are you talking about? Who is this Hank? And why would I want to kiss his ass?
If you kiss Hank's ass, he'll give you $1 million. And if you don't, he'll kick the shit out of you.
What is this? Some sort of bizarre mob shakedown?
Hank is the billionaire philanthropist who built this town. Hank owns this town. Hank controls everything. He can do whatever he wants, and what he wants is to give you $1 million. But he can't until you kiss his ass.
He can't? Why can't he? That doesn't make any sense.
Who are you to question Hank's gift? Don't you want $1 million? Isn't it worth a little kiss on the ass?
Well, maybe, if it's legitimate, but...
Then come kiss Hank's ass with us.
Do you kiss Hank's ass often?
Oh yes. All the time.
And has he given you $1 million?
Well, no. You don't actually get the money until you leave town.
So why don't you just leave town now?
You can't leave until Hank tells you to, or you don't get the money, and he kicks the shit out of you.
Do you know anyone who kissed Hank's ass, left town and got the $1 million?
My mother kissed Hank's ass for years. She left town last year, and I'm sure she got the money.
Haven't you talked to her since then?
Of course not. Hank doesn't allow it.
So what makes you think he'll actually give you the money if you've never talked to anyone who got the money?
Well, he gives you a little bit before you leave. Maybe you'll get a raise. Maybe you'll win a small lotto. Maybe you'll just find a $20 bill on the street.
So what? What's that got to do with Hank?
Hank has certain connections, so he causes these things to happen.
I'm sorry, but this sounds like some sort of bizarre con game.
But it's $1 million. Can you really take the chance? And remember, if you don't kiss Hank's ass, he'll kick the shit out of you.
Maybe if I could see Hank, talk to him, get the details straight from Hank?
No, no one sees Hank. No one talks to Hank.
Then how do you kiss his ass?
Sometimes we just blow him a kiss and think of his ass. Other times we kiss Carl's ass and Carl passes it on.
Who's this Carl guy?
Carl is a friend of ours. He's the one who taught us all about kissing Hank's ass. All we had to do was take Carl out to dinner a few times.
And you just took Carl's word for it when he said there was a Hank. That Hank wanted you to kiss his ass? And that Hank would reward you?
Oh no. Carl has a letter he got from Hank years ago. The letter explains the whole thing. Here's a copy. You can see for yourself, from the desk of Carl. 1. Kiss Hank's ass and he'll give you $1 million when you leave town. 2. Drink only in moderation. 3. Kick the shit out of people who are not like you. 4. Eat right. 5. Hank dictated this list himself. 6. The moon is made of green cheese. 7. Everything Hank says is right. 8. Wash your hands after going to the bathroom. 9. Don't use alcohol. 10. Eat your wieners on buns, no condiments. 11. Kiss Hank's ass, or he'll kick the shit out of you.
This appears to be written on Carl's letterhead.
Of course. Hank didn't have any paper.
I have a hunch that if we checked, we would find that this is Carl's handwriting.
Of course, Hank dictated it to Carl.
But you said, no one gets to see Hank.
Not now, but years ago Hank would talk to some people.
I thought you said Hank was a philanthropist. What sort of philanthropist kicks the shit out of people just because they're different?
It's what Hank wants, and Hank is always right.
How do you figure that?
Item 7 says everything Hank says is right. That's good enough for me.
Maybe your friend Carl just made the whole thing up.
No way. Item 5 says Hank dictated this list himself. Besides, Item 2 says, use alcohol in moderation. Item 4 says, eat right, and Item 8 says wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. Everyone knows those things are right, so the rest must be true too.
But Item 9 says, don't use alcohol, which doesn't quite go with Item 2, and Item 6 says the moon is made of green cheese, which is just plain wrong.
There's no contradiction between 9 and 2, 9 just clarifies 2. As far as 6 goes, you've never been to the moon, so you can't say for sure.
Scientists have pretty firmly established that the moon is made of rock.
But they don't know if the rock came from the Earth or from outer space, so it could just as easily be green cheese.
I'm not really an expert, but I think the theory that the moon was somehow captured by the Earth has been discounted. Besides, not knowing where the rock came from doesn't make it cheese.
You just admitted that scientists make mistakes, but we know Hank is always right.
We do?
Of course we do. Item 5 says so.
You're saying Hank's always right because the list says so. The list is right because Hank dictated it. And we know that Hank dictated it because the list says so. That's circular logic. It's no different than saying, Hank's right because he says he's right.
Now you're getting it. It's so rewarding to see someone come around to Hank's way of thinking.
But, oh, never mind. So, what's the deal with wieners?
Well, it's kind of embarrassing and personal. But, look, it's like this. Whole wieners. In buns. No condiments. That's Hank's way. Anything else is wrong.
No relish. No mustard. Why should we be so limited? Lots of people like to slather on mayonnaise. Or ketchup. Chopped onions and sauerkraut are also very good.
Disgusting. There's no need for such language. Condiments of any kind are wrong. Hank would kick the shit out of you.
So a big pile of sauerkraut with some wieners chopped up in it would be out of the question.
That's disgusting. Only some sort of evil deviant would eat that.
No. It's good. I eat it all the time.
Pervert. If I had known you were one of those perverts, I wouldn't have wasted my time on you. Jerk. When Hank kicks the shit out of you, I'll be there, counting my money and laughing. I'll kiss Hank's ass for you, you bunless cut wienered crowd eater.